Alright, how you doing, guys? We're gonna do a second video here. So, forgot to mention before, I'm not gonna make any names, I'm not gonna say any names. This girl's 27, she lived at home, which is fine. I had no problems with it. I'll shorten this video up, I'll probably make this one about 10 minutes. So, after what happened about the baby and everything, she just started picking apart my dog. She had issues with my dog constantly. To the point where she didn't have any before, so I didn't know what happened. I didn't know why all this was happening. And it started one night when the dog was on the bed, and she flipped out the day after that. She's like, "You can't be on the bed. You can't be on the bed." And I said, "Well, my dog just sleeps on the edge of the bed, so I mean, it doesn't really disrupt sleep. And if he did, I would move him, obviously, for you. I would move him so he's not disruptive." And she's like, "Okay, okay." But that didn't stop, and it just kept continuing. After that, she began picking apart his behaviors, like his jumping, his humping, his barking outside at the dog, his bed digging, and all these issues. I said I would solve. I said I would resolve them. I understand jumping can be annoying. He's excited to see you, but we can work on that. The humping, he doesn't do a lot. Once in a while, and he listens when I say no. He listens when I tell him not to do the bed digging. I don't mind it because I don't have any, expensive sheets. Of course, if I did, wouldn't be doing it. And the barking, when he's outside, he's barking at the dog outside. Sometimes I'm like, okay, whatever you want to do, hang out, bark. But when I tell him no, sometimes he'll listen, sometimes he won't. It's a dog. I do what I have to do to make sure that he's not annoying people. That's what I do. So I told her I would solve all those issues, but it didn't really matter because she wasn't okay with anything. So she would continually have episodes of rage, emotional outbursts. She would threaten suicide. She would attempt suicide. She'd overdosed on pills one time, and she was like, "Oh, now you can like me. I feel fine. Now you can like me. I'm not a bad person anymore. Now you can like me." And then she would say she wants to kill herself. She would want to slit her throat. She would want to. She started cutting further down in the relationship. She started cutting, and she just wasn't the same person. I just saw a total flip, and it got to the point where she stopped attacking the behaviors of the dog, and now she attacked the dog on the bed. No sleeping on the bed. Can't sleep on the bed at all. She gave me an ultimatum. It's that or I'm out. So I felt at that point that she was actually putting me in between a rock and a hard. I thought she was actually making me choose between my dog or her. And she would say stuff, whose feelings are more important, mine or your dog's? And I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, she even said that she was jealous of the dog and threatened of the dog, which is fucked up to me. And why, I don't know, because there's no way in hell I've ever even put a competition between them. She created this competition. So I said, you know what? Fine. I will make something for my dog when it's time. He can sleep on the thing that I make next to the bed. All else is fine. Then and went right back to the behaviors after I made that solution. So then she's picking apart the behaviors one by one, and no matter how many times I told her I would solve them, it didn't matter, because for some reason she did not want these problems resolved. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the issue was with her and the dog, but I figured it was something deeper than this dog thing, because she had dogs, her parents had dogs, she liked them. She's got a horse, she likes the horse, she likes her friends' dogs, so it's just something about my dog. And something came up about her ex before her last relationship, which was 6 years ago. She had issues with that guy and his dog, so now it's all coming to a head. There's a lot more going on here, and she would just, the more and more that I tried to solve this, the more and more unstable she got, and the more downhill things went. So I tried to solve an issue. She would but me on it. No compromise whatsoever with her. None. None whatsoever. It was basically her way or the highway. And then there's times where she said she would compromise, and then she would bounce back and forth between that. So there was never an even keel. There was a yo-yo up and down with my emotions constantly. There was manipulation. She would use suicide attempts during arguments, which would get me right off the topic. We would have conversations, circular conversations, arguments over how we're going to solve this. And what would happen during those is we would talk about everything around the dog issue. We even got into the subject of how you would raise kids when we were trying to solve the dog issue. That's how crazy it got. Over 2 hours of talking about this stuff and nothing got solved. And I got off the phone and I was like, what the hell just happened? Well, what just happened here? I mean, nothing got resolved. What did I just have a conversation about? And that happened constantly. And whenever I would bring up the situation, I was at fault for bringing it up because I'm always bringing it up. I'm always bringing it up. See, borderlines can't take responsibility for anything. Just can't. They can't take responsibility. They always have to have a problem because they thrive on chaos. So if there's no chaos, there's nothing for them to control. They have to be able to control everything. And I don't know why she picked my dog, other than it's something that I love, and she needed all the attention on her. I don't know. I truly don't. But it's crazy to deal with. You know, you feel lost when she goes into these rages, and you feel bad. And these emotional outbursts because you don't want her to hurt herself. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how to solve it. So a lot of the times I try to be patient. And I don't remember getting out of hand when she would get in those rages because I just tried to calm her down a lot. And you know, she would just get this evil look in her eye, this dead set evil look. And she would say that she feels like her brain is a wire is about to fray and she's going to snap. And she looked at me with like the devil, and I swear to God, the devil in her eye. Like on the edge of psychoticness. She would drive at high speeds. She would throw things, smash things, and I mean anger, scream, like really uncontrollable anger. And when the things I'm going to get into in my next video are going to be the things that she said that extremely hurt me and extremely made me weary and like, what's going on here? Like, are you serious about these things that you're saying? Because it's like psychotic. Stuff that she would say. Well, I'll get into that in my next video, but so the outbursts continued throughout the summer, and then, you know, when she would have one and say the things that she would say and be mean and nasty and just slew this vial of nastiness out of her mouth to me, she would want to know, you know, why am I distant towards her? You know, why can't I be normal? You know, why am I acting this way? Why am I acting distant? Well, because there's a problem that isn't solved, and you're being a bitch to me, and I'm taking it. And when I bring the subject up on why you're being a bitch to me, you flip the fuck out again. So, again, borderlines cannot take responsibility for their own actions. And when she would take responsibility, she would say, I'm sorry, I don't want to be like this. But then there was no action. There was no action behind her words. It's all words, words, and words. And words manipulate. Words make you think, oh, okay, things are going to be better. But then there's never action put forth. So there's no progress with borderline and narcissistic behavior. And the narcissistic personality traits came in when I would constantly ask her, can you put yourself in my shoes? Like, you're making me feel like shit. Like, I told her I would never say this stuff to you. I would never tell you to fuck off. I would never tell you to go to hell. I would never say anything like that to you. Why? Well, how could you say that to me? And when I would tell her that stuff, I really wouldn't get a response back. It would be in like a text, and it would just go right over her head, and I would never get a response. And that hurt a lot. Even on the phone, she would be silent when I would ask that. Another trait for the narcissists are very selfish, along with the borderlines too. But me. Everything's about me. Everything's about her. Everything was about her. What she needed, what she wanted, what I had to do to make her happy, what I had to do to prove to her. Everything was about her. It was nothing that she even remotely said or cared about what I need. And I would tell her that too. I said, what about what I need? What about me? What I need? And still, again, I would never get a response about that. Again, I chased her for 4 months to try to solve this issue. So, I mean, I chased her with an issue she created, but she never put effort in to come to me. You know, she never made an effort to say, to really put effort and action in play and want to make this work. And doing research and reading, I began to think that if she did do that, then the problem will get resolved and there would be nothing to control. So, again, rages, outbursts, uncontrollable anger continued. I'm still lost. I'm still an emotional wreck. And little by little, my mind is deteriorating because of the manipulation, because of the gaslighting, and just because of the emotional torment. So in my next video, I'm going to get into the things that she would say to me and the things that she would tell me that would just push me away further and push me away further. And then she'll say nice things that pull me in and then push me back and pull me in and push me back with nastiness and then pull me in with a nice thing. And yeah, I'll get into that. I'll try to conclude the video on what happened on my next video. Yeah, there was just never any reasoning with her, ever, unless it was something that benefited her. You know, that's not how a relationship should be. So, thanks for watching. I'll get a new video up probably tomorrow or so. It'll be part 3. So, thanks.